You pay for the brand. You pay for the legacy. You pay for the enterprise-wide license, and for the army of consultants, and for the promise that the titan of industry has your back. And in return, they hand you a kingdom made of sand. A fortress with a secret door they forgot to tell you about, held open with a stick. This isn't a breach, it's a betrayal. A lesson in how the giants, the so-called secure vendors, outlast not by being the best, but by being the last one standing while the whole house burns down around them. This is Marcus Frex, and welcome to Switchborn. In the summer of 2025, while you were being told to renew your compliance certifications, a cybercrime syndicate named Klopp was quietly moving into the backbone of global commerce. Oracle's e-business suite, the very software that runs procurement, order management, the lifeblood of enterprises. They didn't need a key. They found a hole, a 0 day so critical it scored a 9.8 out of 10. A gaping wound in the code that allowed remote code execution with no password, no authentication, just a single HTTP request away from total control. And they didn't just use this one flaw, they chained it with others that Oracle had just patched in July. Because why use one key when the vendor has kindly left a dozen under the mat? For 2 months, this digital heist played out in silence. Klopp slipped in, deployed their malware, govine.java, siphoned out terabytes of sensitive data. They weren't loud, they weren't disruptive, they were patient. And by late September, the extortion emails landed in the inboxes of executives. Pay up or watch your corporate secrets spill onto the dark web. Now, let's be clear about where the blame truly lies. A scorpion stings. It is its nature. Question the architect who built your house on a fault line and charged you for the earthquake insurance. Oracle, the tech titan. The so-called secure vendor. Their core flaw was a level of ignorance so profound it borders on negligence. This isn't the complex edge case bug. This is the foundation cracking. This is the kind of flaw that should have caught way before a single line ever shipped. But they don't ship art. They ship product for capital raise. They ship volume. And their response? A 2-month delay from the first exploit to an emergency patch. 2 months where exploitation raged unchecked. You have to realize that this isn't a delay, it's a business decision. It's the calculus of a corporation prioritizing its release cycles over your survival. It's the enshittification of cybersecurity, hollow out the security, pump up the features, and let the customers hold the bag when it all goes wrong. Remember what we said last episode? Credential theater. Certification power versus defensive power. Oracle is the ultimate embodiment of this. They wrap the market in a fragile hegemony of enterprise agreements and vendor certifications, selling the narrative of security while the reality was riddled with holes. Their advisories, even when they finally came, were opaque, withholding exploit details, leaving their customers scrambling in the dark. This isn't protection. It's a paper shield sold at a premium. This is still the race to the bottom, playing out at enterprise scale. You're buying from the wholesaler, not the artist. You're getting the cheap Chinese watchmaker, not the Swiss craftsman. And when it breaks, the wholesaler has already cashed your check. The lesson here is the same as it ever was. Plan to the end. Oracle didn't. They planned to the sale, to the quarterly report, to the patch cycle. They did not plan for the moment their foundational code would be weaponized. They did not plan for the aftermath. True power, proactive power, doesn't come from a vendor's logo. It comes from the hunt. It comes from assuming everything is brittle, from mapping the messy edges, from chaining the improbable. It comes from artists, not autonomy, from consequences, not compliance. Oracle built a fortress. The hunters burned it down because they studied the architect, not the walls. Stop paying for ceremony that won't stand in the fire and never trust Oracle. Not even a single bit.